All right, everyone. So today we've got some E3 news. Now, I never normally do these live videos. I want to do more, but I normally like to have like gameplay in the background. But anyway, story for another day. Breaking E3 news. Now, I'm going to let some people come in, hopefully, while I'm reading this. I'm only going to keep this on for maybe like 20 minutes. But it's a good day for news, and it's not just this E3 stuff either. We've actually got a bunch of indies coming, whether people like them or not. There's a bunch of them coming. One of which I'll get into later, probably. But we also got Rise of the Tomb Raider news, or should I say, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Okay, just gonna see if the link's gone out onto YouTube. I should say Twitter. Okay, people can just go back when they get in. Okay, so I want to talk about this. E3, people for weeks have been making fun of the size of Microsoft's floor size at E3. And I never really got that because, there was a time when Nintendo had the biggest, but they were showing off one game. So I always thought the logic behind it made no sense. Let's go to today, and Evan Greenberg posts on Twitter, this is going to be our biggest E3. And I'm thinking, well, how? And before I continue, people already brought this up on Twitter. He didn't say the biggest lineup in Xbox history. He said the biggest E3. People like to, change things around to try and just get one in on you. But anyway, biggest E3. So I'm wondering, what could they do to make it their biggest E3? Because their convention hall was already big enough. The booth they had last year, I'd say it was, it was pretty big. They've gone from people making fun of them for having the smallest show floor to having the biggest. They don't have just a floor, they have a whole building. The Microsoft Theater. That building is pretty big. Now, the thing in the E3 convention center is the whole mixer thing. They're going to stream games and whatnot. I think this is good news. When they said their biggest E3, last year we had hardware. We had lots of time dedicated to hardware. I think it was maybe like 15 minutes in total. But again, they showed the most games. I thought what they did was good. So there's that. But I'm wondering how people are going to try and turn this, because people were concerned, and for months we've heard nothing but possible deals, possible partnerships, meeting with Capcom, meeting with Sega, the Vanquish 2 thing. And a year ago, I came upon some information saying Splinter Cell would appear on Microsoft stage at E3. This was last year. E3 came and went. That didn't happen. I'm thinking maybe I was just a year off, because some of these things are planned way in advance. But when it comes to Splinter Cell being exclusive, I've seen people on Reset Era bring this up. It being exclusive again. I think it's not out of question. Or out of the question, whatever the saying is. I've drank a lot of caffeine today. This E3 is going to be interesting. Now, we just had a teaser image for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I've been talking about for months. And this game is being developed by Eidos Montreal. Now, they made the Deus Ex games, the past two anyway. I think they can handle the franchise. They have made Tomb Raider games before. Bear in mind, those were the janky days of Tomb Raider. But they had a good framework. Crystal Dynamics did an amazing job with it. So I think we're going to see something really good tomorrow. I think it's just going to be a teaser. Then we're going to get gameplay at E3. I'm thinking Microsoft stage just makes sense at this point. And then the game will drop September 14th. Now back to the E3 thing. It's funny because on these nerd forums like Reset Era, they made fun of Microsoft for all these smaller things, having the smaller venue. PlayStation technically has the smaller venue now. So do we come up with concern now? No. Forced narratives. That's what everything's about now. Forced narratives. Frankly, I can't stand it. Okay. See, people are... See, this is the problem. I've only done this once on here, and I can't see the comments. But anyway, we've got some awesome E3 news. Now, they're going to have some events around E3 in the convention center for the fans, which is cool because I heard people last year, not everyone that went could win a ticket to go in, which is a shame because, you know, but let's say me, for instance, let's say if I flew over and I couldn't get a ticket, do you know how mad I'd be? I'd be down $3,000 and I wouldn't be able to go into E3. That would have made me so angry. But with them having their own, you know, building, they can have their bigger event. And I think that might be where Bethesda held their show last year. It's a pretty big theater. And inside, it's massive. I've seen videos from the inside. But they're going to be able to get a lot of fans in there. And if they want a good fan reaction, if they got something to show off, maybe they're going to go with that type of, you know, thing. Because Sony have a big hall every year, and they have a ton of fans inside. And they get the fans cheering. You know, they show things, the crowds react, people at home hear the audience, and we think, wow, this is a big deal. But on Microsoft, they have, you know, X amount of fans in the audience, and there's a lot of journalists and YouTubers and whatnot. And, you know, I personally think they should have more fans in there because it really does change how you think about what you're seeing if you hear the reaction. So, like, if you've seen any of the reactions to the latest Smash Brothers thing, people lost their mind, and that's fantastic. You know, the fans have been waiting for that, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic game. But man, how quick did that turn? A week ago, people were complaining about them having the smaller floor, how they don't have much to show off. And if you put 2 and 2 together, you get 4. You don't get orange, right? Rumors of deals for months. We hear about the Playground thing in January. Then we hear about Perfect Dark, then MechAssault. Like, it's all culminated into the possibility of this being a pretty huge E3. Personally, I'm excited for it. I love E3. I'll watch it every year. I've watched it for maybe 15 years now, something like that. So I like watching E3, you know. And I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes on Microsoft this year because, like, while they did have a lot of games to show last year, they didn't have a lot of big games. And I think this year could be a problem for Sony as well because they're going to have games to show, but I think they're going to show games that we already know about, like Spider-Man and that samurai game. I can't remember what it was called. You know, things like that. But I think, do these companies show more games that's way out? Like Microsoft, for instance, do they show games that are years away? Like Fable. Fable is nowhere near right now. Nowhere. So do they show us a logo and a CGI teaser? 2 years ago, I would have said no, they shouldn't. But now, I'd say yeah. Because, yes, I honestly think that at this point, Xbox needs a better roadmap. Because look at Nintendo with these directs. You know what you're getting for the next few months, and then till the next big direct, and then another one and another one. That's how they do it. Sony, they have a few different events throughout the year. So it makes sense for Microsoft to actually, you know, have a roadmap throughout for maybe the next year, 2 year. And then when it gets to the next E3, they show beyond that, and then beyond that after the next one. And, you know, Microsoft have to blow us out of the water this time because while they did have a fantastic E3 last year, the overall impression was, well, they didn't show off a lot of big games that came out soon after. This year, they have to do that. And one of the things I think that will be missing at E3 is Halo. That's a video for another day because I've got a lot to say on that and I'm a wee bit salty. But I think it's going to be good. Now, I think we won't see any Crackdown. I think we're going to get a date straight after State of Decay 2 comes out, or at least right before, just how we got the State of Decay 2 news, like last week. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get State of Decay 2 is about to come out. We get Crackdown 3 news. Then it releases in July or August. And then maybe we get some smaller titles coming after E3 because this year's weird when it comes to release date because, again, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is coming out in September. That's a problem because every other game will come out either September or the first half of October. The back end of November is safe, but Red Dead Redemption being right at the end of October has just ruined the holiday for everyone. Maybe some company can pull a Far Cry 3 and release in December and get word of mouth and do fantastic. That usually happens every year. But man, Red Dead Redemption, that's gonna mess up a lot of these dates. Like when does Battlefield release? Like I originally heard it was gonna be early November. That's not happening now. It can't. It'll get eaten up. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about E3. Look, I'm excited for E3, and to be honest, it's about the fans. I'm a fan. A lot of fans want to see this. They want to see Microsoft do well. They want Microsoft to actually show us a bunch of games we can look forward to. And I think they're going to show us what we want to see. And we don't hear for months about rumors for nothing. Like rumors in the past have been fake or haven't happened that much. But I think people just have to chill. It's like 87 days away. Yeah. So I think people have to chill on that. Anyway, I just wanted to do a short video. It was easy this way. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, share it on social media. And yeah, everyone, have a good day.